make it sound like my mother was a monster or that my childhood was miserable, because it wasn't. I'm Sarah Robertson, and I'm playing the storyteller in Burnt Thicket Theatre's production of Every Brilliant Thing. I start as a 7-year-old girl, kind of navigating my experience as a young kid of my mom's depression and our family dynamics. I start writing this list of brilliant things, the most brilliant things about the world, ice cream, roller coasters, to try and help my mom. And then we kind of go forward with the story, navigating it as a teenager, as I grow up, as I have my own life experiences and ups and downs of navigating my own experiences of that depression and in myself, you know, like the way I view the world as I grow up, as I become a grown-up, still trying to look for those brilliant things in life, but feeling the low lows as well as the high highs of life and taking the audience on that journey with me. And then inside a box under my bed, underneath some sticker albums, seashells, and action figures, I found the list. I sat on the floor and read it through. 1, ice cream. The younger me had dealt with this so much better.
It's an unusual play because, it's a play about clinical depression, yes, and it is the funniest comedy you will ever see. And people leave the theater elated and inspired and breathing deeper. And we follow every show with an optional 10-minute talkback. We experience, often most people stay, sometimes everybody stays to be part of that conversation.
I'd never been very interested in romance, or at least I hadn't been until I locked eyes with the only other person who was always in the library. Duncan Macmillan wrote this show in collaboration with a stand-up comedian. And so he took this concept, or the topic of depression and severe depression, while playing with comedy all the way through it. And you know, I think they played a lot with different audiences. So it's like, every time we're going to these deep places, I always feel as the storyteller that I'm like, okay, here we go, and a joke, and up again, and something beautiful from the audience. So it's like we go to these low lows, and then immediately we flip it, and we remember the most beautiful things of life.
The way that their story interacts with a whole number of people's lives over the course of her life, it does something in the room that turns the audience into kind of a make-believe support group, and there's a weird sense of community that actually forms because of the way the story interacts with audience members.
1009.
Dancing in public fearlessly.
Are you coming with me?
So it's running October 17th to the 20th, Thursday to Sunday, at the Refinery. You can get tickets for that at burntthicket.com or at ontheboards.ca. And we're also touring the show to high schools around the province before that, for the first half of October, with the organization of Saskatchewan Arts Councils.
Suicide is contagious. It's called the Werther effect, based on Goethe's protagonist. Discovering this fact really scared me. Because this show plays with the highs and the lows, and always keeping those almost in fluid motion within ourselves, that maybe we can look at the hard things, and that maybe they don't have to sit so heavy. Maybe we can hold them in a light place and then allow some of the weight of them to kind of, we can walk out of the theater lighter, happier, more joyful, and looking and noticing more beautiful things.